I'm now on the scenic Slieve Aaron Drive on the way to the next door. Sheep coming to see what I'm up to. It has been one of the most scenic drives I've ever been on in Leitrim. We're in the wide open again, but I've passed quite an avenue of autumn-leaved, native broadleaf trees. But it's an incredible experience. Very, very pretty road. One of the loveliest in Leitrim. I've still got another 3 kilometers to go to the next door, so I'm intrigued what we're going to. Wow, Aghacashel, what a place. Quite amazing going around the townland here. A few things going on. I think I've got the Slieve Aaron behind me. The Slieve Aaron Drive itself coming here. The one thing that I loved was actually seeing all the native trees on the way here. And they were all in their autumn colours, the broadleaf colours. And then you see, as you're approaching what's a sort of a village, lots of signs protesting for these Sitka spruce plantations to go away. No more go away. It's obvious they're very proud of the landscape around here, the native trees. And there's various sort of protest signs, but there's also signs to places of interest, ancient sites, the Slieve Aaron walks, and right in the middle of nowhere, going through the area, is a lovely sort of pub and village, and you go in there for information of the walks around here. Just a lovely feel here before I even start to go to the door and see what is said. So the presenters here is Micheál, Rosemary and Ronan Gihon, I think it is. I'll check that. There is the door, and the door is in a field of sheep, so no problem there really. I got to see how to get through this red gate here. I'm sure there's some way of untying it fairly simply, ready for the visitors here. And I don't think I got the film of the dog welcoming committee, but here's the other part of the welcoming committee. Hello. It's a little tricky coming in here. I gather by the disturbance I made getting through the gate, I might be the first person here. I'll do what I can to secure it when I leave, so that sheep don't disappear. So there is ye door, and I'll get the phone number. The phone number is actually in white. I think I'll get out of the field first and get myself a seat and dial the number, but on the way out there's little bits of berry wildlife here that's lovely. There's some red berries on the holly here, if I can get a closer look. There we go. It's lovely. And they do have some hawthorn, and there's a bit of hawthorn berries remaining here. Quite a few when you actually look. Hawthorn berries, and this is right by the gate. And it says a lot about this area really. The gate wasn't too bad to get out after all. Easier to close than it was to open. That was wonderful. That was all three of them kind of interacting with each other. There was Micheál, there was Ronan, there was Rosemary, all given their own interpretations of the area. Absolutely fascinating. They talked a lot about the landscapes, and they talked a lot about the various ancient sites around here. It really carried the feel of what I've already felt for this particular Aghacashel townland, the hill of the fort. One of them pointed out where the fort was. I couldn't see it from here, probably didn't look close enough. Apparently all the stone has been taken away with what was a fort in order to build walls and buildings around here. One thing I loved about them, what they talked a lot about, is the flow of water around here. There's various rivers, and they explain what they are, where they connect up, where they flow to. Eventually they do get to Leitrim, and they get into what's now the Shannon waterway, which was the River Gronya. But they get there the water's so clean. That's their water supply. There was no talk of any holy wells, and I suppose that's why they're quite happy with the source of water that they can get that comes down off of the Scéalta mountain. So there was some talk there about going on the walks here, adventuring around here. Some of the things they talked about, some of the buildings here, I didn't see it. When I leave here, I'll look and take pictures if I can. There's the remains of a building that was here that was once the bakehouse, separate bakehouse to the estate. Very interesting. As I said earlier, I came along that beautiful Sleevely scenic route, and that alone is worth coming to. This is one of the most prettiest parts of Leitrim that I've been to. So they did say that the farm and their home, they've had 5 generations of family here, and apparently it's supposed to have been haunted. They haven't seen any ghosts themselves yet, but apparently a few houses around here have got ghost stories. With the preciousness, with the way that people respect the water, the way that people respect the native trees here, and they're very concerned about the onslaught of not only the Sitka spruce but also of vulture fund people coming in, buying up land that don't even live here. It's the end of the line for the families here. When you got vulture funds from other countries moving in, you got the absentee landlord who doesn't care at all about the people here. They just care about how they can quickly make a profit. With the way the people care about the land around here, I can understand the reason for the protests. This community must really live on, because this is how communities I wish would stay on as it is. There's a lot of people say, oh, get used to it, it's modern times. No, I'm not going to get used to it. And there's people around here, they're determined not to get used to it either. They're used to their community, and there is no reason why that can't continue, even with modern conveniences. And you can still have the community and keep things localized rather than centralized or even multinational, which is the one thing that they're complaining about. So I've gone on to politics. Sorry, I've gone from their storytelling on to politics, but as much as I remember from here, well worth coming here, as I always say. So thank you for being part of this, Rosemary, Ronan and Mihal, Gian, and being part of Amach, Into the Field, the storytelling project that I'm really enjoying doing. I don't think this is going to be the last one for me today, because the next ones are over on the west side of Loch Allen. It's quite a drive for me, so I'm going to leave that for another day. 3 of them all close together there, so I won't be able to do this for another week or so, maybe 2 weeks. It'll be the last days of this project, so at least I'll try and get to those 3. If there's, it will be getting towards November, but hopefully there'll be 3 days. There will be a day like this beautiful sunny day it's been, where I can get out to the others. One of the protest signs that you'll see around here, and wonderful that the community comes together to support this protest. And Aghacashel coming together to protest the Sitka spruce plantation forestry, and nature is actually taking over the poster, but it's there for us to see. Just that sign there says it all. And just looking in this field, it's certainly a wildlife and wild plant wilderness. That's the way it should be if the land is not being used. This bit of road is on a hiking trail, one of the local hiking trails too. This is probably one of the buildings that was talked of in their storytelling, but I'm not sure what it relates to. But it's by the water, it's by the river, and they certainly talked a lot about the rivers here. And this is one of the rivers. I didn't actually catch its name, but I'm actually standing on the bridge of this river. It's flowing even wider, following the river there, and apparently that goes on to Leitrim. Willows here, if I can get closer, and that's the stone over the bridge. Beautiful bridge too. And a number you call for community hill walks around here. I'm just leaving the village now, and there's some signs here to the Mass Rock, the graveyard, and also directing people on the Slieve and their own walks. What I didn't mention, just as I was driving off from the shop that had the notice to phone for walks, there is an actual big map behind glass on a sign just by that shop. I didn't bother to stop. I noticed it as I was pulling away, so just go back into the village. There you will see the sign of the walks. Certainly a wonderful day out here. Well, this starts the trail. It goes up a path, a stony path there, which is unfortunately too much for me with my lack of ability. Beautiful red copper beach there towards the entrance of it. You climb up quite a hill, and as you might be able to see, there's quite a, it's clouding over now, but there's quite a view. It's quite misty. Something of significance there. I bet that is the Sheemore Hill that's there. Yeah, that's definitely the Sheemore Fairy Hill that's sticking up there. So that's time for me. Oh, there's some lock there. That's, I imagine that's Loch Skur. I'm off home now. Great adventure today. Thank you for watching this, and thank you Edwina, Jerry Bowen and the people behind putting Amach together. So see you at the next one, whenever that may be.